I will write, I literally list, okay, anyways, I will take a napkin, like a bev nap or whatever.
Oh, bev nap? Okay, continue.
You know? And then you just write your number on it, and then you literally go up to the man and you're like, do with this what you will. And then you walk the fuck away. Because I am so terrified of men that I just, like, hand it to him, skirt the fuck out of there.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
I kind of like that. Like, as you're leaving, because there's no pressure,
it's
right?
It's just like, if they don't text you, they don't text you.
I think you dropped this. Like, hit him with that.
That is good. I'm going to use that.
God damn. We'll
Saturday
do it at the
night.
same time.
Same, man. Like,
yeah, there's 2 napkins. He's like, wait.
I don't know.
I don't know. To be honest, it really depends, like, at what hour, what's the setting.
That's
true.
true.
I honestly think, like, I go with the classic, hi, I'm Maddie. What's your name?
See, okay, I've tried that, but then they say their name, and then I don't know where to go from that.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay.
Or I just feel like a good way to cut the ice is like, do you want to take a shot? Like, no one's going to say no, but also you're in for the money cost.
You want to hear something good? That's how my sister met her husband.
He came up to her, she came up to him.
She went up to him and she was like, you want to do shots? And he was like, yeah. And now they're married.
So if you want to get married, buy them a shot.
Bada bing, bada boom.
There you go.
That's what my dad talked about in the speech.
Oh my God.
I was like, Jesus.
I love that. Honestly, I feel like a lot of times, like, girls don't make the first move. So any move you make, like, I think that even if they're not, like, they wouldn't have looked at you in the bar, they're now like, oh shit. Like it's a perspective change. Yeah. And so maybe if they wouldn't have been, like, super attracted to you in the first place, like, they're attracted to that, like, ballsiness.
Yeah, I agree. The boldness. I feel like guys like confidence. And I've talked to this, or about this with all my guy friends, and they're like, you could literally walk up to a man and say, like, come home with me, or, like, let's go on a date, and they'd be like, okay. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, no. Like, in my head, I'm like, you guys are liars. And they're like, no. If a girl came up to me and was like, da-da-da-da, I'd be like, okay. I'd say yes to whatever. And I was like, oh,
now I'm like, okay, why am I not doing that? Like,
I know,
that
I'm like,
sounds
okay,
great.
I'm just nervous.
Okay, so the next question is best advice from Why Men Love Bitches. Did you read that book?
No, I have to read it still.
Okay, I have that book at home. I'll bring it up for you.
Okay,
eventually.
sweet.
So, I guess this one will be for me. I think my best advice, I've read this in Why Men Love Bitches, and I also think that Call Her Daddy talks about it all the time. Like, I think if they want to, they will. Like, that's, like, the biggest...
That's so true.
Like, you trying to change people's behavior and, like, make them into who they are or who you want them to be just will not work. I also think, like, if a guy wants you, he will snap you. Like, and that's the big thing to remember is, like, girls saying, like, oh, should I text him again? Should I snap him again? It's like, no, because if he wanted to be talking to you, he would. And, like, that's a hard truth. That's a big pill to swallow. But also, like, you don't want to come across as, like, always, like, simping, because that's, like, super unattractive. Yeah. And you can simp a little bit, but you also need to be further enough in the relationship that, like, simping is almost like, oh, wow, she does care about me. Like, a shock. Yeah. Simping is a shock.
Like, 1 weekend, you can't be simping.
No.
You know?
And, like, also, like, it's all about the chase. And so the more, like, if you break the chase and you let them know, like, oh, for sure, like, I'll be all yours. Like, then it's just, no.
Yeah.
Which, that is, like, I need to take my own advice on that, because sometimes I get, like, lost in the moment, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to double snap him. And I'm like, wait, if he wanted to, like, snap me, he would. So why am I tripping?
No, I do that a lot, too, and I totally agree that, like, if they're taking, like, I don't know, 16 hours to respond, they clearly are not that excited about it. Right. You know?
Like, they would be snapping you, texting you, seeing you if they wanted to be.
But then I'm also a liar, because I have been, like, okay, not even snapping, but, like, this one dude, I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And I literally have, like, he snapped me 20 hours ago, and I still have not opened it. And, like, I kind of like him. I don't know.
God, you're terrible.
I know.
You just, like, everything I just said could have just been wiped away.
I know. Fuck. I know.
Well, okay, just don't talk to Sydney.
I just, like, yeah.
I go back and forth. Like, I don't want to play games, but also I think we live in a time and an age where, like, you have to play games.
You really do.
It's played or get played.
Literally, because, like, if you don't play games, they're going to play games on you. So you better be smarter, you know?
Gotta be quicker than that. Fuck. Okay. And that brings us to the end of our episode.
So fun.
I know. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm honored.
I'm really glad to have Sid on. I think we just been old friends. We're
True.
old. I can't wait to be in our fucking wheelchairs together in the
Literally.
old folks' home.
We're gonna be talking shit about the other ladies.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, that bitch. He needs Viagra. Like, we're going to be having a time. So that has been our show. And thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Next Caller.
Yeah.
Stop calling me a bitch, 'cause you ain't talking about nothing